This demonstration takes you through the steps to set up an ElasticSearch exporter using DataSense. Select Exporter on the left-hand panel, which takes you to the Exporter configuration page. Select Add Exporter button, and you will be presented with the new Exporter configuration window. We will give this configuration a simple, meaningful name such as ECS Exporter. Under Exporter Type, select ElasticSearch. In the next section, Connection Configuration, select ElasticSearch Instances. Under hostname, enter either an IP address or a DNS name that points to your ElasticSearch. In this example, we will use 172.20.0.8. If you are using a custom ElasticSearch port other than the default 9200, please amend this. We will leave the default settings for communication, idle socket, and pool size. Under Authentication, enter an API key that allows DataSense to write to the ElasticSearch instance. In the next section, you configure whether your ElasticSearch instance uses HTTP or HTTPS connection, and whether you intend to use a trust store and key store. Leave hostname verification disabled. Leave the default HTTPS set. In this demo, we are using certificates to authenticate to ElasticSearch, so we'll need to point the trust store to the CA certificate. Next section, Index Configuration. This is where you select if you intend to export the Windows and/or other index, such as firewall, switches, and anything else collected via API or syslog. If the indexes are not on the destination, they will be created for you on the first run. You have the option to use the Elastic Pipeline setting if you intend to further enhance the datasets on Elastic. Click Create to save and finalize the new exporter. Now that we have finished our first exporter, we will set up a new pipeline and point it to our new exporter. Go to the Pipeline configuration page by selecting Pipeline on the left-hand panel. Click Add Pipeline to begin the pipeline configuration. Under Basic Configuration, we will provide a suitable name for the new pipeline and a brief description. In this example, we will use ECS Pipeline. Provide a brief description of this pipeline. Let's use Test Pipeline to Elastic. You can toggle whether to enable or disable this pipeline. You can apply a number of filters to either allow processing of certain events in a dataset or whether to discard/drop before sending it through the exporter. This can help improve seam costs by discarding any unnecessary noise. The filtering is based on predicates. We are looking to match parts of a log that you either want to allow or drop. As an example, we will use tag ID is 4624 and you can select Allow. This will only allow Windows Event ID 4624 to be passed through to the destination. Or you can select Drop, in which case this drops 4624 from being passed to the destination. In this example, we will skip this step. Before the datasets are processed, you pass them through the DataSense data enrichment, which uses well-known threat intelligence feeds. We can highlight any suspicious IP addresses, file hashes, domain names before the datasets reach its destination. This is a simple toggle, on or off. In this example, we'll enable this feature. In the next section, you have the option to redact and/or remove certain fields before exporting. Redacting fields will ensure sensitive information won't pass through the exporter. Removing of fields can help reduce unnecessary noise on the destination and potentially save money from not storing unwanted data. Select the field to redact drop-down menu and type in message. Leave the default redacted in the replacement value. The last section, we need to map the new pipeline to the exporter we previously created. Select the new exporter and then click Create to finalize the new pipeline. The newly deployed pipeline is now active and has begun processing incoming datasets. Monitoring confirms that 4 datasets have been successfully processed, with the latest execution reflecting updated results. Let's transition to Elastic to validate that the logs have been ingested by the new pipeline. A new exporter and pipeline have been successfully implemented to transmit datasets to Elastic. Verification confirms that the destination has received the datasets as expected. The dataset has been processed through the DataSense threat intelligence engine, and the data has been enriched to flag any suspicious domain, IP addresses, and file hashes. In this example, we have seen the IP 101.36.104.242 being flagged as suspicious. This concludes the demo.